What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Today we're going to be reacting to a guy that works for Vice that's trying to break 3 Guinness World Records in one day, which sounds really cool until you realize he picks the dumbest records possible and he sucks at practicing for them. It all kind of falls apart. It's really hilarious to watch though, so make sure you keep watching until the very end. Without further ado, let's meet this guy.
Could I break a Guinness World Record?
We gotta try harder.
You're not giving up on this. I'm not giving up on this.
So you might have seen that montage and wondered what he's possibly doing. He's going to get into it here in a second, but the 3 records he's trying to break are most candles in your mouth at the same time, the fastest raw onion ever eaten, which sounds terrible to have to practice for. I'm not trying to just sit in my kitchen eating disgusting uncooked onions all day, which is what he does for 3 days in practice for this. And the third one is really random. It's the most tea bags thrown into a mug from like 10 feet away in 30 seconds, I guess, which is so specific, and records like that don't really impress me. Regardless, it's about to be a whole uphill battle for this guy, and it's not gonna amount to much. I mean, looking at the video here, the like to dislike ratio is not that good, and almost all the comments were just crapping on this dude basically. So spoiler alert, I have seen the end, I know the result, but it doesn't make it any less funny to me. So let's check it out.
I've never won anything. I've never been the best at anything, and there really isn't anything super special about me.
Okay, I honestly feel that. I've thought about the same thing. I often will ponder if there was even a world record out there that I could possibly beat, and I think it would have to be something lame like this guy's doing, like so specific that no one else would even think of, and that way I could secure it. So I like his approach. At least he's not going for like the fastest mile ran or something impossible that would take him forever to train for. He gave himself a week and he's going for it. So even though it didn't work out, it's still good. But the one thing that I have to point out is they spent a lot of money for this video. You're gonna see later that he actually calls an adjudicator, which is the person that works for the Guinness World Records, to officiate this and make sure that he's actually breaking the record. And I'm not going to tell you how much they spent on her yet, but it is a large sum of money for him to basically fail every single record that he's going for.
And in doing this, I have to follow all of Guinness's rules and guidelines, and there's a lot of them.
So that's the first hurdle. They had to get this woman out here to make sure that he actually broke this record, and I think that's one of the 2 ways that you can do it. There's another evidence-based route where you have to get a bunch of bystanders to confirm, but it's so funny to me that Vice hired this person, and I looked up on Quora, which I know that this could obviously not be the most correct answer, but everyone says it's around this, and in the comments of this video, someone said this number. Apparently, it's $10,000 plus a 4-star hotel stay for the person that is coming out here to judge it, plus their airfare, plus local transport per record, per day, per location. So if my math is correct, that means they spent $30,000 for this one video that really didn't even do that good on their channel. I found this from the cringe subreddit personally. That is so mind-boggling to me, and you would hope that he would have picked something that he was a little bit more confident in, but his choices were not that good.
I also found out about Ishrita Furman. He's basically the ultimate record breaker and holds over 225 records.
So at least he has a good idea here. He contacts the man with the most Guinness World Records, which should be its own Guinness World Record in itself. And he's gonna go on a Skype call with this guy and ask him his opinions of this. Listen to this dude's opinions. If this wasn't the biggest red flag right up front before you even started practicing, I don't know what is, but he really should have listened to this guy. I mean, as you can see, this dude's not anything to mess with. He was literally just going at watermelons on his stomach with a samurai sword. I don't know how that is a world record. So I would think that this guy is kind of the authority on Guinness World Records. He knows which ones are good and which ones are just dumb, that you're setting yourself up for failure.
Those are all not easy records. I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't choose those, any of those 3.
He's basically saying in the nicest way possible, dude, you're kind of an idiot for going for these records. And that is not what you want to hear from the world record expert himself. I would have just closed up shop there and gone back to the drawing board and tried to figure out 3 other ones that might be a little bit better. Because this dude has no confidence in him, and I don't think this guy has any confidence in himself personally, and it's just going to amount to a giant waste of time, which is basically what this video is, and that's what makes it so hilarious to me.
You have to like devour it.
Yeah.
Like a bear. There we go.
Yeah,
That's
get
what we
into
want.
it.
So at first when he's practicing, he's just eating this onion leisurely, acting like that's gonna get him the world record. Dude, you better be going ham on that thing. You're having to beat Shia LaBeouf and Zero in the ending of Holes. They have the world record right there, and that's gonna be hard to beat. No, but seriously, the world record is 30 seconds, and think of how fast you would have to eat a raw onion in 30 seconds. If you gave me one and told me to eat it by the end of the day, I don't think I could even stomach that, let alone half a minute. What is this guy even trying to do right now? So this poor guy, I really will admit that he is fully fully committing to this. He's having to just eat raw onions throughout the day to practice and is throwing tea bags into cups. Still, that one is the funniest one to me. How is that even a world record? It's so random. And practicing being able to dislocate his jaw like a snake so that he can fit over 100 candles in there. And when they show this montage, originally, I was really thinking he was going to make this happen. Like, it was kind of like a Rocky montage, hitting the punching bags, aka just munching on some onions. But I really had faith in this guy. But you'll see it soon falls all apart, all to the wayside, once he is on stage and actually trying to do these records. He kind of sucks. And even when he's practicing for this candle one, it just seems so not smart to even attempt that. I really don't get how Guinness allows him to try to break this record because it seems sort of unsafe, honestly. But regardless, I doubt he's gonna make that happen.
Hi.
Will.
I'm Chrissy. I'm
Chrissy.
an official Guinness World Records adjudicator.
Oh, cool.
I gotta figure out how I can get a job with Guinness because that just sounds amazing, touring the country and watching people mostly fail at their world records, with the occasional one broken, and that'd be pretty exciting to bear witness to that. But yeah, this guy invites a whole crowd of people. They set up all these stage lights on this random set in the Vice building, and he even has his mom on a Zoom call on a laptop watching him. And knowing how this all goes, I kind of wish this guy would have just done this in private with the cameraman and the adjudicator there, because it's very embarrassing how poorly he does here.
This is the most tea bags thrown into a mug in 30 seconds. And the current record is
7.
All right, so this guy's just got to throw 7 tea bags into mugs within 30 seconds, which sounds not that difficult. But I mean, when you think that he has $10,000 on the line here, that's what it costs for this attempt. That makes things a lot more stressful. I want you guys to think of how much he's going to get. I honestly thought he would at least get close after all this practicing. I figured his muscle memory would be very good for this, but let's see how he does.
okay, well.
Yep, he got only 2 of them, not even close. But surprisingly, this isn't the furthest off that he is of a record of all these attempts. The fastest time to eat an entire raw onion is less than 30 seconds. And then you have to put into account that it's a raw onion, one of the worst flavors you could possibly have in a large quantity. I'm surprised he was even able to practice this without throwing up after. Ugh, it's grossing me out just thinking about it. So they show this hyper montage of him eating, and you think that it's going really well. At least I did. It was some clever editing by Vice here. But I'm about to reveal the actual time that he got on this. It is so embarrassing. I would be ashamed that I wouldn't even try the third thing that he's going for after this. I would have just told everyone to go home, because at this point, he needs to understand he's not built for the Guinness Book of World Records.
Time.
Was that 29 seconds?
That was a little bit more than 29 seconds. It was 4 minutes, 55 seconds, 0.54.
This fool took almost 5 minutes to eat it. Dude, you gotta call up Matt Stoney and get some serious training in this competitive eating thing, because you are not good at this. That is 6 times the actual world record. So in the grand scheme of things, I guess you could say he was close. I'm sure it would take me, again, more than an entire day to try to wolf down a fully grown raw onion. That just sounds so disgusting. And I guess it's good that he's trying, but guys, remember, they spent 10 G's to get this woman here just to make this video, and he has missed the mark by a mile on both of these so far.
And the current record is
100.
100, so this is 102.
Yes.
Great.
So that's right, he's got to fit over 100 of these things in his mouth for over 30 seconds in order to break this world record. This one seems like it is doable, just depending on your natural mouth size. I guess that's the advantage that he would have. But let's see if he can make this third one happen. I really hope he can. Okay, attempt 1 didn't go very well. They all melted away and he just had to spit it out. But attempt 2, this is gonna be it. At least there's gonna be one redeeming thing in this video. He's gonna make one world record, right?
Is that it?
There's one not lit, so you got 100.
Oh, which one wasn't lit?
There was one at the bottom that just didn't light. There was like wax covering the wick.
Oh, I wish we would have known. We would have.
So as he sits here with these candles just melting away, his mom looks so disappointed, and the crowd is so not into it at this point. They just want to get back to their desks and stop having to watch this train wreck. So as per the rules of Guinness World Records, the person that is judging cannot have any input on the actual process of it, because that would be a little bit unfair. She couldn't tell them that one was not lit, so they just attempted this and they were 1 candle off. He technically tied, so they even give him a plaque and everything for this to make him feel better. So I guess that was one sort of success from this video. But it was just hilarious to me that this guy was really going for it, and missed the mark all 3 times. I feel a little bit bad for him, but I'm sure he didn't have to pay that 10 G's out of pocket. Vice took care of it. You know, they're a pretty rich company. Either way, it was pretty funny to see how that turned out. Guys, let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments below. Bit of a random one, but I just found it to be comedic and very chill to react to. Anyways, that about does it for today's video. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one, and until then, peace out.